writer.
Okay.
Give up on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Give up on my way home, yeah. Give up on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Give up on my way home, yeah.
This is the movement for those who.
What we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
I
What's up, Mecha Army? Whoop woo! Fiery's the one that got it today, kids. Haha. Yes. Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream, you guys. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. And here in the States, the United States, today is a national holiday. It's Memorial Day for those of you guys outside of the U.S. It's a day of remembrance for those who have fallen, while serving in the armed forces. So today's a special day for, folks in the military, obviously. So big shout outs to everybody that is either serving or has served. Thank you for your service. Shout out to those guys like William Wilms. Willem, I saw you, I know you're in the chat, so big shout out to you. Nick, Macho Models, he's serving right now. I think Nick's in the Air Force, if I'm not mistaken. So, and if I missed anybody, I'm very sorry, but thank you for your service. We appreciate that. So, happy Memorial Day, you guys. Man, lots of other stuff to go over. Lots of other stuff to go over today. Let's see. Let's start off with Mecha Decal 001W selling amazingly. Thank you if you have bought those. I do really appreciate that. We got a really nice video review today by a gentleman that goes by Zero System on Instagram. Goes by the same handle on YouTube. And he did a really great review of the Mecha Decal sheet, and so he applied them to a GM Sniper 2 that is decked out in kind of the White Dingo aesthetic, and I'm telling you what, the decals looked amazing on this thing. The model looked amazing. It was awesome. It was great, right? So go check that out if you have time. I popped up an Instagram story. If you're on Instagram, you can go check out his Instagram profile. Follow him. And if you don't do Instagram, if you just do Facebook, I popped a link to the video on my Facebook page. Definitely go check it out. Man, it's a really good review. I'm really happy with it, right? So, good stuff. Kirk Hill says, my decals arrived yesterday. Awesome. Unfortunately, a bit too late to use on my GBWC entry. It happens. They would have been awesome to use on it. Man, you know what? Your next build, dude. Your next build. I'm just glad you got him. So, enjoy him, right? Enjoy him. So, guys, we got the green light. More colors are coming. All that good stuff. So, yeah, expect more. Expect more. And again, thank you. Thank you for your purchases. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Wanted to give another big shout out to our boy Julio. Clippin' Nubs. He won the new type bracket contest, you guys. Yeah, big things, man. Big things. So, congratulations to Julio. I know he's in the chat. He said, "What up, Tim?" Dude, congratulations, dude. Well earned. Well earned. So everybody give him a big old congratulations if you haven't already. Go follow him on Instagram and stuff like that. He does some live streams. Go watch those and everything. Man, just, good dude. Salt of the earth. Great builder, too. So congratulations, Julio. Big time. Big time. Let's see. I know a lot of you have asked, for the Mecha Army hat, right? So I went ahead and designed one up. Ordered the prototype. That should be here soon. If it looks good, it'll come out. So, there you go. All right. For everybody asking for it, I know there were a lot of people asking for it. It's in the works. So, let's see what else. Armored Komodo. For those of you guys that don't know what Armored Komodo is, Filipino company that makes pigments and paints. They also make these little guys right here. If you don't know what these are chroma flares. These are an insane pigment, like color shifting pigments and stuff like that. They come in a bunch of bunch of different colors and combinations and things like that, right? They sent me some samples. I'm going to test them out. I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet. I just got these on Saturday. So have not had a chance to, work up a test, a test piece to, apply these things. But let's real quick kind of show you what you can expect, because these are going to be coming in stock at a couple different online stores. USA Gundam Store will be carrying them, and then also our boy Jeremy Shashanj out there, his shop, the Gundam Project Shop. Go out, check out his page on Facebook if you are interested in that. He's out of Texas. Good dude. So I know he's taking pre-orders for those, but man, they are evidently selling like crazy. So yeah, score them while you can. That's all I gotta say, right? But let's go to camera here real quick. Let's show you kind of what you can expect out of these things, right? So, boom, here we go. All right, so they sent me 3 of the chroma flares, right? Obviously, chrome. This is Yugen, which is a blue-violet-pink combination. You can kind of see it's a very pearlescent style of pigment there. Chrome, as you can see, is obviously just a very, very shiny silver, right? And then they sent me this one. Heliconia. I don't know how to pronounce it right. But this one's intriguing because, oh, look at that. Oh, it just shifts everywhere. Look. Now it's purple. Now it's blue. Now it's some other weird color, right? So this is blue, violet, and red, right? So when you can see the red in that kind of the highlights and stuff like there. Yeah, boy, oh. Man, that is going to look good on a glossed up gloss black piece, right? Let's very carefully open these, because again, these come in very kind of tiny containers, right? And these are pigments. These are not paints. These are pigments. So this is a powder, right? Got to be very, very careful, because the Yugen one, I kind of slipped and kind of a puff of pigment went out everywhere, and I got fucking pigment all over my hand, and it looked like a fairy exploded in my hand. Basically, it glitter everywhere, essentially. But let's take a look at this one here just real quick, because this one is just, oh, look at that, super impressive how that just shifts. I said shits, shifts. But yeah, and mind you, you don't get a lot, but you don't need a lot. Right? From what Arcom is saying, you can basically get 2 or 3 master grades full on coated with just this little bit of powder. So there's a specific way that you apply these things. So I'm going to have to study up and kind of really, make sure I'm doing it right. Let's put it that way. So these are the 3 that they sent me. These will be fun to play with, especially this one. My daughter, she loves everything like holographic, the holo craze. So she loves this one, so that'll be interesting. And then obviously chrome. We all, I think a lot of people chase after that perfect chrome. So I'm interested to see how this fares in terms of a pigment, right? I've seen good things in other pigments and stuff like that. I've seen insane results with these chroma flares. Just check Armored Komodo's Facebook site, either Armored Komodo North America on Facebook or Armored Komodo Heavy Industries, right? Filipino company, man, just the results speak for themselves, you guys. Amazing looking results. Great company, great bunch of guys. A bunch of my friends over in the Philippines just speak the world of this stuff, so I trust them implicitly. So this should be a lot of fun to play with. But they sent me these chroma flares, but then they also sent me, boom, this big old tub of weathering pigment, right? And just for size comparison, that's a big boy. That's a big container of pigment, right? So let's crack this open. This is light rust that they sent me, right? Look at that. That's a lot of rust. That's a lot of rust. So yeah, there's a lot of material in this jar. A lot of material in this jar. And the really cool thing, and I'm like a container fiend. I like containers. I love going to the container store. Don't ask me why, I just do, right? This container is just, man, it's just rock solid. I would have zero concerns about getting this shipped even in an envelope. This thing is just rock solid, right? It's basically double kind of, there's a container within a container, basically. It's super nice. Shit, I wish you could buy these alone. I don't know. Armored Komodo, if you're watching, Frank, maybe just sell the containers too, because they're super nice. But anyway, yeah, you do get a lot of pigment in here. They've got a bunch of different shades and things like that. So these should be really fun to play with as well. So definitely go check out the Armored Komodo Facebook pages. Like I said, Armored Komodo North America for those of you guys in the States or in Canada or Mexico or wherever. And then also, if you want just a ton of pictures that people have used their products on, go check out Armored Komodo Heavy Industries on Facebook. Really, really good stuff. They also have Instagram pages. Go follow those as well. Some really, really great things there. They have, I've seen a few examples of the Sazabi Verka in this Heliconia color. Just, man, nice, real nice. So definitely go check them out. Yeah. Like I said, USA Gundam Store will be carrying those. Jeremy Chassan's the Gundam Project shop has them up for pre-order right now. I do not know the pricing for either of those shops, unfortunately. So, but from what I've been told, very reasonably priced for these. From Frank, who heads up Armored Komodo North America, these are very reasonably priced. So these will come in really handy if you want to get super crazy with a paint job and stuff. So go check those guys out. Definitely go check them out. So Zach Bleish is over here on good old YouTube chat. Zach, what's going on? He works up there at the amazing Galactic Toys up in beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan. Shout out to those guys. And then also, hey, Donnie Baxter's over there on Facebook. What's up, Donnie? He finished up his Nemo, and he's got it primed, you guys. Go check it out. It's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. William Wilm says he has only talked about his samples of Armored Komodo pigments. Ah, yes. I don't know who that was in response to. I'm sorry. So, Goro says, man, I was so excited to finally be able to try Arcom since I'll be moving to the Philippines, but then, poof, they're going to release them in the U.S. Dude, yeah. One of those things, right? Zach Blaze, not too much, just relaxing a bit before work tomorrow. Ugh. Good luck with that, buddy. I gotta go back to work tomorrow, too. Sucks, but gotta make that money, right? Make that money. Anyway. Alright. So, yeah, that's enough with the notes. We're going to put those off to the side. Let's get into the show. Let's show you kind of the stuff that I've been working on this week, which is nothing very interesting. It's more just tedium and stuff like that, to be quite honest with you. But if you saw the 30-minute out image on the social medias, you saw these puppies right here. Let me zoom out so you can kind of get full blast on these. So these right here, let's get even right about there. That's good. I think that's good. Yeah, let's go with that. So these are called greeble plates. Greeble plates, right? These are greeblies, right? And basically what you do is you get a nice flat piece of glass, and then you get some greeblies that you want to recast, and you super glue them down to this bad boy, and then you recast them. It's as simple as that. It's a 1-part dump mold that you can use over and over and over again, right? You do not take them off of here. You don't take these pieces off. These permanently are on this plate, so you will never use these greeblies. Just in case your mold is screwed up or something like that, or gets old and torn or ratted on, just molds don't stay good forever. If you keep the originals, if you keep the masters, you can remold them, and you're off to the races again, right? So very, very easy to make if you have the ability to do resin casting, right? So let's take a real quick look at these, and both of these are obviously, these are all super glued on. Nope, nothing's going anywhere at this point. Same thing with these guys here. Woo! See? Nothing's falling off, right? Super glued right down to the plate. Now, what I did was I marked off a 1/2-inch border around the plate. This will act as kind of your barrier. This will all be silicone rubber, and then we'll build up our box right on the perimeter of the plate with Legos. Very, very simple, right? Very simple stuff. You get your 2-part RTV mold rubber, right? You build up that box. You slowly fill this sucker in. You wait the allotted time for it to cure. Pop that sucker off, and you've got a mold. Really simple, right? You get a 2-part resin. Mix up just enough to fill this in, and then what you do is you get another plate of glass, clean plate, and you put that right down onto the mold where the resin is, and then you will have completely flat backs for all of these pieces, and you'll have perfectly molded, endless amount of greeblies, right? Endless amounts of greeblies, and I love greeblies. Who doesn't love greeblies? Like, come on. Giant Robo, Giant Mecha Robo? Shit, I can't remember damn name. 5 a.m. builds. You guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, dude loves greeblies. Robo, make a greebly plate and reproduce them, dude. Super simple, and it's free. All you gotta do is spend the money on the thing, right? Does it have to be glass, William Wilms says. Glass is best, and I'll tell you why. Because glass usually comes in kind of a nice, either 1 inch or 3/8, or I should say 1/8 inch or 3/8 inch kind of thickness, right? So it's got some weight to it, and it's not going to bend, right? That's the thing. It's rigid, right? You can use plexiglass, maybe acrylic or something like that. I'd be careful with it though, because the main thing that you want is when you go to set that on top of your resin, you don't want that resin bonding to it. The resin, as long as this is a completely smooth Giant Mega Robo. Damn it, thank you, George. I was close. I said Giant Mecha Robo. Giant Mega Robo. George, what's up? Old School Gunpla, go check him out too. We got church tomorrow night, you guys. So I would use glass. Glass is inexpensive. You can find it at most craft stores and stuff like that. You can find it on Amazon, places like that. This is where I got mine. This is a textured glass on this side, but on this side it's completely smooth, right? Completely smooth. So that's why I went with this. Real cheap too. Real cheap. Justin Carmine. Mr. Justinius Builds, for all of you guys playing at home. He's over there on Facebook. He says, you're on 11 right now. Dial it back, Tim. Just kidding. I'm all about it. This energy is good. Hey, man. If not this level of energy, what level of energy should I have, right? Gotta maintain, right? Gotta maintain. So, big shout out to Justin, man. Go check out Justin's, all of Justin's social media stuff. On YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Justin, am I missing anything? I don't think so, right? But anyway, go follow Justin. He's my boy. So anyway, endless amounts of greeblies, you guys. Endless amounts. Now, obviously, you need to take these from kits, right? And that's what we did. Justin says, "Cut that out. I didn't come here for a shout out." Man, shut up. You're gonna get a shout out, and you're gonna take it. You're gonna like it. Just wanted to see your busted face. Miss you, but thank you, brother. Appreciate that. But so most of these are from scrapped kits, things like that. Kits that I bought specifically for greeblies. Case in point. Where's my little pointer deal here? Let's see. We've got parts from the plant here, and a bunch of them on this guy right here. And I've separated these. These are more shapes and greeblies. These are more vents and stuff like that, right? So you've got a bunch here. You've got a few down here. You've got these two big triangular ones here. You've got this one here. Those are all from the Gaplant one model, one high-grade model. It's $20. It's amazing for parts. I'm just telling you that right now. I know I've said it before, but I can't say it enough. So, great stuff all around. And then also sometimes you're going to have to modify some of these parts to cut them down to size to get just the vents that you want, right? Here are the two XS Gundam, the chest vents and stuff like that. I had a scrapped one, so why not use them, right? I think they're cool looking. We've got some Kotobukiya. And actually, these are wave little vents and stuff here. I don't buy a lot of wave parts, so it's good to have my favorites on this plate so I can reproduce them, right? What else? Let's see. These two right here, I had to cut down a lot to get them flat and get these vent shapes on here. These two right here are actually from a high-grade 1100. What is it? Freedom? No, not the Freedom. The Justice. Yeah, the Justice. 1100 Justice. I think that's what it was. It was the pink one. I don't know. But these were on the back of the calves, and I had to cut them down big time. And that's sometimes what you got to do, right? To get these greeblies on here. But, man, good stuff here. Good stuff all around. And as you can see, let's zoom in just a little bit so you can kind of see these parts in a little bit more detail. These two right here actually had to put a piece of plastic strip on top of to modify those to get this kind of shaped box. I just like that, right? And then these two here, I actually had to insert a proper sized plastic tube back there so the mold rubber wouldn't go under here and just make a mess, yeah? So, sometimes you do have to modify these parts, yeah? And just glue them down and you're good to go. These are from a high-grade 1100 Buster. Justin knows about that, right, Justin? You know what I'm talking about, Busters. What's up, Buster? Anyway. So I had to cut these down as well. These parts right here, this one and this one, these are both from a Zeta 2.0. Had to cut those down there too. These little shocks right here are from a 1.0 Gelgoog Master Grade. These two here, these two here. Actually, I cut the shocks off of these, kept these on here. I don't know. I had cut these into a V for some reason for, back in the day. I don't know. So got those on there. This little piece right here is from a 1.0 Hyaku Shiki. Let's see what else. These guys here, Master Grade 1.0 Double Zeta. All of these kits are scrapped, so I'm never going to do anything with them, right? So why not use their parts and get an endless amount of these things since I like them so much. So, greebly plates, you guys. If you have the ability to do a little bit of resin casting, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It comes in handy. It comes in very, very handy. So, do it. Anyway. All right. Uh-oh. Gary's over there, you guys, on Twitch. He says, I'm here. Woot. And in the immortal words of Gary, noise. All right. So this past weekend was Gunpla Talk. If you guys did not see it, Shame on you. You should go back and watch it on Zach's channel. We had Fox. Gary, 45 bits. Noise. This guy, giving the bits. Tig bitties. I love it. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that, brother. For those of you not following Gary, man, go follow him. YRAG Gunpla on Instagram. Just fucking good dude, man. Makes the best Instagram stories. And I see you rocking the Chata Mecha hat, Gary. I see you, man. I see you. I like it. But he rocks the Deadpool mask and everything, man. It's good times. It's good times. He was also George, wasn't he on the Instagram hangout that you guys had a couple weeks ago? I think so. I can't remember. Anyway, go check out Gary. He's fun. He's fun to watch. He's fun to be a fan of. Yeah? Let's see. Joel's over there. Joel, Mr. True Gunpla. He's over there. He says, "What up, nerds?" Oh, you know what? Speaking of Joel, let's talk about that. Zero Kaiser in the chat. He says, "Hey, Tim, what's going on, man?" But Joel, True Gunpla, he has a cool podcast, The Chopping Mat. If you're not following it, I really think that you should. They just put out a two-parter, 2 weeks ago? I think so. And I just got around to listening to those today. So, thank you. Thank Bailey for the shout-outs in that. I was just like blown away, right? So cool stuff for them. They kind of gave you some tips on how to start your own community wherever you might live, if you don't have one, right? So, chopping mat. Cutting mat. Did I say chopping mat? Cutting mat. Shit. The chopping mat. My bad. Cutting mat. Fuck me. Cutting mat. Everybody's correcting me now. It's the cutting mat. Okay. My bad, guys. My bad. Justin says bootlegging your podcast is bad quality, right? Man. Sorry. It is what it is. All right. So, check out the cutting mat on wherever you get your podcasts. I got mine off of the iTunes store. They pop right onto my phone and I can listen to them whenever. So, there you go. Right? Fiery's over there on YouTube. He says, Tim's got the chopper on the brain. Right? The chopper mat. That's the chop. Okay, right here. That's the chopper mat. That's not the podcast, you guys. Just to clear that up. That's the chopper mat. Chopping mat. You want the cutting mat. My bad. Sorry. Shit. Oh, man. I can't remember any names tonight. I don't know why. It's been a long weekend. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? George says, yep, Gary kicked ass on the hangout. Nice. So go check out the Instagram Gunpla hangout over there on George's channel, George Lelios on YouTube. Go check it out. Good stuff. Let's see. All right. So, we had shit. Now I'm like scatterbrained because I fucked up the cutting mat. I fucked up Giant Mega Robo's name. And what other name am I gonna mess up tonight, you guys? I don't know. Let's keep count, all right? Let's go. Let's do this. Let's be Dean. Let's keep the number of times Tim messes up a name, right? That's 2. Anyway. For those of you that missed Gunpla Talk this past weekend, go check it out on Zach's channel. But we had Fox, the model making guru. I know I didn't mess that one up. He was on with us, man. It was a good time. I was not really familiar with Fox, but after speaking with the guy and after him being on, I need to catch up on his channel because he seems like just an amazing kind of person to watch. He does live streams as well. So yeah, go check him out on Model Making Guru on the good old YouTubes. So good stuff there. But if you missed that, I showed off the Zaku 2 and kind of where we are with things. So just to kind of bring you guys up to speed with what we got going on here. this is the current look. And let's get zoomed out just a little bit so we can have that in a better... Woo! Right there. Nope, don't do that auto zoom shit. There we go. Now we got it. So that's what he looks like right now. We got the chest pieces all cut, and those are crispy looking. I really like it. We've got all of these little molded in details filled in, smoothed out, looking really quite nice. We've got everything seamed up, filled in, and sanded down. So this is all just kind of baby butt smooth. And let's see here. On this one, there were two... and here, let's take this off so I can actually show you in some detail rather than just kind of holding up the damn thing. So we'll put him off to the side, put that down, zoom in, and let's show you. Okay, so here's the one that still needs to be sanded down. There are two indentations, and you can kind of see those pretty good right there. Two molded in indentations. I did not like those. So we took our good old ½ ounce there. But you guys, it's got a big brother. Look at this. Look at that. I bought a big brother. 2 ounces. And it actually has the Bob Smith Industries logo on it instead of the shop that I bought it from. So, yeah. So anyway, look at this. $3.99 for a ½ ounce, right? $4. This was just a little over $9, and you get 4 times the amount. So that's a good price, right? So I bought a Big Brother for it because I like it so much now. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I still love you, boo. I still love you. You're my first love. Don't get it wrong. I'll always love you. But that's the new one, right? That's the new one. So, yeah, I highly recommend it. Anyway, we took our good old Bob Smith super glue and we filled in those indentations, and man, you can hardly even tell that they're there. This baby butt smooth, right? Baby butt smooth. Nice. Hey, Giant Mega Robo. Let me check you out. Here. Check it out, Robo. I fucked up your name before. I'm sorry, Robo. I really apologize for that. I called you Giant Mecha Robo by mistake. That's my bad. I'm really, really sorry about that. But just because you're here, I wanted to show you this because you'll appreciate this. I know you love greeblies and the whole greebly process and everything. So, dude, this one's for you. Boom. Greebly plates. Greebly plates. Check this out, dude. Oh, greebly plates. Look at this. So, glad that you're here. So, what I got going on here, 2 plates of glass, right? Smooth. Greeblies glued down to, super glued down to this. Make a mold box around those. RTV mold rubber. Boom. Resin casted, endless amounts of greeblies. Oh. Yeah. So there you go. I knew you would probably appreciate this. At least I would hope you would appreciate this because I know you like the greeblies, right? So yes, mold your own. See? There you go. There you go. And I got all these round greeblies that I got to plate up. These still need to be cleaned. These, I think, are cleaned up and ready to go for the most part. But these, I still need to clips, clean the nubs off, file them down a little bit, get them ready to plate up. But we're going to have another plate of just round stuff. So, yeah. But anyway, dude, I knew you could appreciate this. So, there you go. Greebly plates. Love it. Love the greebly plates. And then obviously keep them in a safe location because you don't want those plates to... That would be bad, right? Anyway, Justin over there on Facebook, he says, all right, boys, I'm out of here. Work early. Night, dudes. Night, boo-boo. Anyway, let's see. Ultraman Dyna says, can someone point me to the best mold your own videos? Dude, there are so many out there. There's so many out there. Vegeta. I think everybody knows Vegeta. He's got a good series on resin casting, right? Excuse me. So I think that would be a great place to start. Look up Smooth On. Smooth On's channel actually has a pretty good amount of tutorials on there. They tend to go on the professional side of things, so keep that in mind. And I think Cam, I can't remember if Cam has a resin casting video on there or not. I want to say that he does, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But definitely check out Vegeta's channel. I know he's got some good ones on his channel. But for those, real simple, 1 part dump mold, the easiest resin casting that you'll ever encounter. Because literally you just dump the RTV on it, wait till it cures, take it out, pop it down on a flat piece, pour in your liquid resin, put a plate of glass over that. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I suggest it. Just so those backs of those pieces are super smooth. Wait for it to cure, you're off to the races. Easy. Easy peasy. But, as always, dude, if you got questions on making, resin casts and everything, hit me up. I'll help you out. You know that. You know this. Anyway, so this guy right here, we filled in with the super glue. So that's just, basically got to be filed down and stuff. As always, you can see kind of this piece just easily now pops in and out for easy paint work. These pieces here, baby butt smooth. Rescribed the lines around here. Got some filled in these indents here. Just put in a little strip of plastic strip in here. Filed those down. Filled them in with super glue. Again, baby butt smooth. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. Gary's over here on YouTube now. Look at that. Let's see. He says, I love George to the fullest. Fight me. I agree. Right? I agree. Luis Ultraman Dyna says, that is something I've always wanted to do but never tried. Julio Ponte, my local art shop has resin. Gonna have to purchase some. So, this is the thing when it comes to mold rubber and resin. Let's go one camera for this because I'm about to preach on you guys. Okay, so it's easy to get into, number one. There are several factors that you need to keep in mind when you resin cast, right? You're going to get the best results if you have a pressure pot, but that, again, is an added expense not everybody wants to incur. Because with a pressure pot, you need a heavy-duty compressor to apply pressure to it, right? So that is another added expense. And what I would say is, don't use your airbrush compressor because it's not going to create enough pressure, and you don't want to burn out the motor in your airbrush compressor. Get a super cheap pancake compressor from the Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, or used, whatever. And that is what I personally use. I got just a dumb cheap Home Depot HDX, their like generic brand of pancake compressors. I got it on clearance. I think it was $30 when I got it a few years ago. And I mean, the thing works. And that's all I ever use it for. That's all I use it for, is getting pressure into the pressure pot. Okay? Now, aside from those incurred expenses, if you don't want to spend money on the pressure pot, if you don't want to spend money on the pancake compressor, which I would not suggest, especially when you're starting out, What I would definitely suggest is getting a longer cure resin. Okay, something that you have, number one, you've got a lot of work time with, and one that has a longer demold time. There's work time. This is the amount of time from the point that you dump in the two parts and start mixing it to the time it starts to set up. There are super quick resins that you have only like 2.5 minutes of work time. The resin that I use, I've got 30 minutes of work time. The ones that have 2.5 minute work time, those will set up and those will be cured in about 15-20 minutes. That's good for professionals that need to replicate parts, especially like in props and movie industries. That's really good for them because time is money. But for us, nada. No, because that shit will bubble on you and you will have nasty molds, especially with the size of parts that we try and create, right? Yes, and fiery, actually, that's a very good point. A faster cure equals more heat, but it's not a big deal when it comes to mold rubber because that stuff is made to take that heat, right? Excuse me. Oh, you know what? Fiery also asked a question, not a vacuum chamber. No, not for our purposes. I always go pressure. Some people will vacuum out the air from their mold rubber. You don't need to do it. Not in our cases, okay? In some cases, that's probably a legitimate tactic. But for us, what we do, or at least for what I do, you don't need it. You don't need it at all. Pressure is definitely the way to go because what's going to happen, you apply 55 to 60 pounds per square inch on that resin, that any of those air bubbles in there are going to get compressed down to like nothing. If you were to cut open, I don't have any castings around here, but if you were to cut open a casting or even a mold, actually I have a mold, but I don't want to cut any of them open right now. But if you were to cut any of them open and you were to look at the cross section, there would be no bubbles. Bubble free, right? Bubble free. Brobuilder says I had to decast the silicone on my full city molds, all done by hand. Yeah, but you were casting like big parts though, I think, right? I've gotten really great results with applying pressure to the RTV. But again, I use a slow curing RTV. I use Umu 30 by Smooth On. That's got a what is it? A 6-hour cure time, I think. I think it's 6 hours. You get about 30-minute work time, 6-hour cure time, which again, may be overkill. I don't care. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not making these for production purposes, right? So again, go slow, man. Go slow, right? When he's over there on Facebook, he says, also do it in a ventilated space. Resin can smell to holy hell. I learned that the hard way. Yes and no. Yes and no. So, epoxy resin, the clear stuff, the stuff that people make like river tables out of, and they make epoxy coatings for like bar tops and stuff like that. That shit can smell like crazy. Don't get me wrong. That shit can smell nasty. The smooth on stuff that I use, there's no smell at all. None. If you were to get art purpose epoxy resin, again, no odor. So it's perfectly safe to do indoors. But Win is right. If you get that like shit that they use to make like bar tops, the epoxy stuff, the stuff that, you put fiberglass into, wear a mask. That shit is nasty, right? Blech. Don't do it. Save yourself the trouble, right? Bro Builder, Brian, he says, mine was a whole different thing. Lots of crazy undercuts and reveals, hence the decal. Gotcha. I gotcha. Polyester resin is a demon. Yes. Urethane resin is legit. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I use. That's the type of resin that, most people use. If you were to get a resin kit, that's going to be a urethane resin, right? Gremlin's over there on YouTube. He says epoxy resin smells like an old lady getting a perm. Oh, God. Yeah. It kind of smells like burnt mayonnaise. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine that smell. Yeah. Burnt mayonnaise. Think about it. Week-old sauerkraut. Yeah. Disgusting. Yeah. So, but anyway, I digress. Reel it back in. So I use Long Cure, both RTV mold rubber. I use Long Cure resin. So in our cases, longer is better because the longer time it has to cure, the longer time those bubbles have to escape. And then if you're using, obviously, a pressure pot, the longer it has to compress down basically into nothingness, which is awesome. So I highly, highly recommend it. With the pressure, you don't have to worry too much about shrinkage, because what it's going to do is it won't really compress the liquid. It will compress the air inside of it. Okay? Easy stuff. Now, there's another route. If you say you wanted to recreate just a piece, just a single piece, right? There's a simple way to do that a lot of people have had a lot of success on. If you follow Flynn Berger, Mr. Craig Flynn, he actually just posted a picture, I think earlier today, with his success stories on recasting this little figure, this little bird that he's using in his diorama. The moldable plastic that you heat up and you kind of mold around stuff, the Orimaru, I forget what it is, but anyway, it's a heat-activated plastic that you put in boiling water. It becomes malleable, and then you just basically form it, and you kind of make a mold out of that, right? And you can do 2-part molds. You can do a 1-part dump mold, whatever. But it's really nice to use. It hardens up, it cures. Pop that out of there. 2-part epoxy putty, like our good old friend Tamiya. Tamiya QuickType, or Win stuff, the green stuff, whichever putty you want to use. Mix enough up there, smash that ball of epoxy putty in there, smash those 2 parts together, those 2 pieces of molds together, and you got an easy, quick, affordable mold. You wait till the epoxy putty is cured up, peel those 2 parts apart, boom, you got an easy way to replicate parts. Now, mind you, you are not probably going to get as much of the detail in parts. You'll get some, don't get me wrong. But mold rubber will always catch so much more detail than the moldable plastic, right? The mold rubber itself starts out obviously as a liquid form, and it will catch so much detail that it will replicate the surface of the piece that you're molding. So if you're molding, say, like a super glossy piece, you'll be able to replicate that in the mold because it will grab that detail, right? Now, if you're replicating like a sanded piece with sand marks in it, it'll grab those details and mold that as well, and you'll be able to recast those details because they're just so crisp and nice. Now for products, I really like smooth-on products, but there's a bunch of other products that you can get. Alumilite is another one that you can find in a bunch of craft stores and stuff like that. They have great starter sets and things like that. Micromark has their own kind of starter set, little on the expensive side, but it does have everything you need. Especially if you're getting into like super heavy duty, like 2-part or even 3-part or like plug molds and stuff like that. And you'll trust me, That's way advanced. You'll get to that later. But for a simple two-part mold, you can, use kind of a clay, an oil-based clay, and form it around your part and basically make a really, really nice two-part mold. That's how I do a lot of my molds. And let's see if we can't get one down here real quick. Oh, let's see. What is this? No, that's not a good one. Let's see. Let's just grab a handful, right? So, I keep my molds, yeah. And here, let's go to camera, and let's show you what these things look like, yeah. Boom. Okay. So, this is just made up with, the mold box was made out of Legos, so you got the Lego brick pattern inside here. There's my pour spout. There's my air escape right there, right? So let's crack this guy open here. Ah, perfect one. Okay, this is a good one to show. So let's get zoomed in, yeah? So you can see right in here, especially on this one, these little lines right here, these little things, those are panel lines that I scribed in. So these things are 0.2 millimeters in width, right? So you can see the amount of detail that this stuff can catch, which is really, really nice. Now, these here, these indentations, these are mold locks. These are basically indentations that you pop in there to keep the registration on your mold together, so it doesn't go slipping and sliding when you put this thing into a form to hold it together when you're resin casting. But this is kind of a two-part mold that I made. This is for the scratch-built back boosters that I made for the Hummingbird, right? So this is the top part. This is the bottom panel, and you've got your pour spout in here. It should drain. It should come in and fill from the bottom up, so you can have all the air escape from the top really, really nicely, right? So basically, you set this thing up. You put some rubber bands or you tape it up or something like that. Pour your resin into here. It will go down that pour spout over into the mold cavity and fill up from the bottom, and boom, come out the air hole right there. Just another way to make sure the air escapes, right? Let's crack this one open here. Let's see what this one is. Ah, okay. So this one, another one from the Hummingbird. This is the knee spike that I made for the Hummingbird, yeah? Now, as you can see, super important to get your airflow, your escape hole at the top, very top part of your piece, so that air has every single chance to escape, right? So again, you've got your pour spout, you've got your fill cavity, and then you've got your fill, and that's the way the air escapes. And you've got all these locks in here. For this one, this was the this part began as clay, the oil-based clay, and I just used a paintbrush and just popped in all these locks in here. You fill in your mold rubber there. This is what you get out of it, and you put these two together. These parts do not move. You've got a great mold in there now. And then this one again from the Hummingbird. These are the shoulder units. So same thing. You got your nice pour spout here, fills up, escapes out the top. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. So, I don't know when I'll ever need these again, but I got them. And I also have the master parts that I made these out of as well. So, there you go. Save your masters and save your molds. You never know when they come in handy, right? Just saying. So, we're going to pop these over here. Yeah, they're all dusty and everything, right? Excuse me. Brian says, maybe if this mold thing takes off, I'll partner with Tim and teach y'all how to make a matrix mold. Oh, dude, you're talking about some completely different level shit. I don't even know how to do that. I've never attempted to make a matrix mold, but then again, I don't mold stuff that big, you know? So, there you go. Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat, 'cause I know you guys kind of had some questions and stuff, right? Let's see. Gundam Uruguay, Javier, he's got to go to work. Javier, man, you're probably already gone, but take care, dude. Let's see. Bro Builder keys. Those registration points are called keys. Tomato, tomato, I guess? Or tomato, potato? I don't know. But yeah, he's right. They are called keys. Goro says, how do you pump the resin in? You just pour it in, man. You just pour it in. The resin that I use is very, very viscous. Is that the right viscous? Has low viscosity? It's very thin. Let's put it that way. It's just very thin. I'm trying to get technical here and I'm fucking it up. So, no, it's very thin stuff. You pour it in. It's kind of like the consistency of kind of a milk, like a kind of like that, right? So it just pours in. You just pour it in the cup. You don't need to pump it in. Especially with a long cure resin, you just kind of slowly just pour that stuff in and you're good to go. So good question, though. Good question. George Lelios, Old School Gunpla, said, would love a live demo of you two and molds. Oh, dude, you're going to be here for a while if we get into that, because that takes a lot of time. Like, a lot of time. Now, mind you, it's one of the videos that I want to create, so having it edited down for time is probably going to be a better deal. Molding and resin casting and stuff like that, unfortunately, is just not time convenient for a 2-hour stream. Even like I said, even for a 2-hour stream, it takes some preparation and time. And quite honestly, I need to do it over here on my workbench, because this here is not the place for it. Not the place. Yeah. Okay, Brobuilder says, yeah, you pour it in one of the gates. I usually make a little cone to help. Yep, I do too. I cut a little spout. I do that too. Me and Brian are like this right now. We're geeking out on the resin casting thing, right? But let's see. Julius Dembski, smooth on applications, mold making. Bingo. Thank you, Julius. Did that actually come through? I don't know if it did. Hold on. I will get it. Copy and paste that link just in case. And for those of you on Facebook and Twitch that missed it, boom. Incoming. There you go. So Smooth On is the company that I really prefer because they make really good products. Like I said, there's other companies out there. Alumilite is another big one that you can find in craft stores and things like that. You can find local distributors. I know my buddy Clem, those Gundam guys, he uses kind of a local place. If you've got like a heavy-duty art store, especially if you guys are like in metropolitan areas, you can go to these places, or even like colleges. College art stores will usually carry some high-level shit. So definitely check those out, right? Those are good places to buy locally, right? And even still, even if you're not into like the resin casting thing, man, these heavy-duty art stores, they got some cool shit in there too. You can use so much in those places, right? So, says Brian says, I agree with Tim on Smooth On. Yeah, it's a good product. I've never had issues with it. Now, some considerations that you guys have to keep in mind. Environment, where you're pouring and where you're molding is very, very important, especially humidity. Humidity will absolutely mess with your molds and your resin casting. My boy Jim, Mr. Gunpla Fixation, he lived down in Florida, and the humidity in his place where he was molding was extremely high, and he just never had any luck with it. And he bought a few batches, so it wasn't like a batch issue or anything like that, unfortunately. So humidity is very, very, very important. If you can do it indoors in an nice air-conditioned location, I highly suggest that. Excuse me. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Fiery says, I used to mold 40K parts. Haha, so long ago. Yeah, there you go, man. You can mold whatever. You can mold whatever. Let's see. Ultraman Dino. Oh, that's a good link, man. Thanks. Cool. To definitely Julius's credit. Thank you, Julius. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it came through or not, but shit, I just duplicated it. I don't know. Anyway, Goro says, if you're gonna make a demo, might as well do it Art Attack style. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. Terry T says, yeah, I'll make time. George says, I've got the time. Jesus. You guys are glutton for punishment, I swear. Julio Ponte, thanks for the info, Tim. Brother, absolutely. And guys, if you missed any of this, just message me. Just message me. Yeah. Excuse me. And then Julius, there is a like to smooth on resin. Oh yeah. So there's a bunch of different types of resin that smooth on carries, right? The smooth cast series, that's what I personally use. Hang on right there. Wait a second, I'll get you the stuff that I use here. Alright, so Alright, so this is the stuff that I use right here. It comes in a 2-part mix like this. This actually is, what, a 2-pound net weight sample box. And that's what they call it. You can get these things in big gallon containers and I think 10-gallon containers, but trust me, if you're not going to use it, don't buy it that big. I like this size. This is maybe 1/3 and this is dead. 1/3 used and this stuff is just dead, right? Unfortunately, because I didn't use it in the shelf life. So unfortunately, humidity has penetrated this, and it's just bad. I've tested this out, and it's dead product. So, but this is Smooth Cast 322. That's the stuff that I like. You cannot get this pretty much at any place other than Smooth On, unfortunately. Smooth On does carry products on Amazon and stuff like that. Smoothcast 305 is probably going to be the best thing that you can get on Amazon right now in terms of, excuse me, a urethane style resin. But they do sell this beauty right here. This is right here, Umu 30. This is the good stuff. I like this. This is pretty inexpensive. I think a box of this and a box of the resin is about $25 or so, give or take, especially on Amazon. But yeah, so I really like this. This is a very entry-level style mold rubber. You can get much higher quality. I've never needed it before because, again, I'm not using this for production purposes. If you're going to be molding and casting and casting and casting and casting and casting and doing stuff on a production level, you want better mold rubber than this. But if you're trying to cast one-offs here and there, more than enough. More than enough. So, yeah. Silicone. Boom. Is that platinum silicone? You know, I don't know. It's Umu 30. OOMO. Yeah, OOMO. OOMOO. Umu. Tin Cure. No, this is Tin Cure. This is not platinum. This is Tin Cure. Sorry, Brian. So this is Tin Cure. Completely safe with kind of your oil-based kind of plasticine clay. Really good stuff. Really good stuff, right? Now, again, if you go to the Smooth On website, you're going to be overwhelmed with the amount of products on there simply because they make such an array of products for professionals. They make makeup products. They make products for people to mold like rocks and things like that for landscaping, like crazy stuff, right? So there's a ton of stuff on there. I use the Smooth Cast line. I like the 322 because it's a very long cure. It's a might shrink a little. I've never had shrinkage of any sort, thankfully. So I've never experienced shrinkage in the molds or the castings, thankfully. They've always been really super crisp. But yeah, I mean, it's entry level, right? And that's really all you need. That's really, for what we do, that's all you need. But again, if you're going to be producing multiple copies, then you probably want to go a little bit better quality, right? So there's the smooth cast, which again, entry level. Then there's the task series, much better stuff. That's higher performing stuff. So again, you want to use what you think you're going to need, right? Now, in terms of let's see here. The silicone rubber. I use the Tin Cure stuff, the Umu series. Let's see. I think there's only two. Yeah, there's two. There's the 25 and then there's the 30. I use the 30 because it's a longer cure. The 25, what's the cure time on the 25? Okay, so the 25 has a 15-minute pot life or work time, and it has a 75-minute cure time or demold time. Again, I like the longer cure stuff just because, again, I'm not producing production levels of pieces. I'm just doing one-offs, you guys, so I don't need super high-quality stuff. The higher quality, the more you're going to spend, right? And with the little parts that we're recasting and stuff like that, like I said, I used a third of this, and now this is dead product. A third of it. So if you're going to cast and if you're going to get this stuff has about maybe a 6-month shelf life after you've opened it. Maybe less, right? Now you can buy products. There's what's called a dry gas blanket that Smooth On sells that you can spray in there and kind of extend the life of it a little bit. Maybe double the shelf life, but again, it's not ideal because once you crack that open, timer resets and you're off to the races again in terms of shelf life. So yeah, one of those things you got to keep in mind. You need to use it. Yeah, you need to use it. Brian says, I'm gonna sit back down. Oh, I've just been slowing you down, dude. Nah, you know what? This is because you're the professional, brother. You're the pro. You do this stuff for a living, right? I'm just some schmuck doing one-off little castings here and there. So by absolutely no means, no. I'm just familiar with the products that I use, and trust me, I can see the you obviously use a much higher level of product because you produce shit like on a different scale than I do. So, nah. Your expertise is much welcomed, brother. Much welcome. Ron Art says, yeah, problem with those resins, they have a very, very short shelf life. Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty much with any urethane resin. They have a limited shelf life, so you need to use them. So, that's why these are beautiful. Right here, because you can just cast, and cast until they're all out. Greebly plates, you guys. Greebly plates. I highly recommend them. So you can use the Umu stuff. There's the Mold Max series, which is very good as well. Again, it's a higher quality of RTV mold rubber, so keep that in mind. Yeah. But anyway, that's resin casting 101, basically. Boom. Ronart says, my problem in my country is that most of the available resins here are epoxy and polyurethane resins, which are toxic. Yeah, nasty stuff, right? Excuse me. Epoxy resins you can kind of get away with, especially in terms of casting. You can get some decent casts with kind of art style resins and stuff, because I've gotten some good stuff out of that, and the good thing about the art style epoxy resins, if you wanted to say maybe recast like the unicorn psycho frame pieces, but in a different color, you could totally do that with the clear epoxy resin, the artist style. You can tint it, with a couple drops of paint here and there. You can make it whatever shade that you want. You can make it purple. You can make it red, like deep red, right? Make it yellow, make it gold, whatever. I've seen people do it. Just an idea, right? So, Jeremy Christopher Russell's over there. He says, "Good evening, Mecha Army." Good evening, man. Thank you. Excuse me. Brobutter Brian says, "Mold Star 15 slow is really good. 30 for the print coat if you are pressure casting, though." Nice. I've not used Mold Star. Again, that's a higher quality. More money. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good call. It's a really good call. Jeremy Christopher also says, "What have I missed?" Man, you missed a lot. How dare you be late? No, I'm just fucking with you, Jeremy. We went over greeble plates. And we kind of just had a conversation about making resin castings and stuff, right? So, valuable information, I think. Yeah, valuable information. We didn't do any demos or anything like that, but again, valuable information. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Anyway. But let's get to work, right? Let's get to work. So, all right, so we're on 2 camera. Let's show you the chest pieces because these came out really actually quite nice, yeah? Let's get the shoulder pieces off first. Put those off to the side. Let's get the arms popped off. There we go. There we are. And let's get this popped off the torso. There we are. All right, so now we've got this guy. Yeah. All right. Julio Ponte says, "Straight up wrote shit down." Dude, you know you can replay this, right? It's going to be up here forever. You just rewatch it. Just saying. But that's cool, though, man. That's cool. And if, like I said, guys, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me or Brian, Bro Builder. Like I said, dude is a professional. He does this shit for a living, basically, right? So, he's a very, very excellent source of information for this stuff, too. Don't sleep. I didn't plan that. The whole sleep thing. Because, Brian on Mechanism and... Just saying. Good deal, though. Alright, so, last time we were looking at this, these were just basically big old plates of plastic just kind of sticking out everywhere, and it kind of looked like this, right, on the thing. But... we've got these trimmed down, sanded, and it's just now super crispy, very angular, just the way that I wanted it, right? We've got the plates on the front, so these are nice and flat here, looking really, really good. We're going to keep the curves under here, and yeah, this is exactly how I wanted it, right? Exactly how I wanted it. You can see these little indents were filled in with the super glue. These are nice and just baby butt smooth. Wet sanded this down to like, 1500 grit. And man, it's just looking primo right now, right? Now, the thing that I still have to worry about is obviously these big gaps right here, right? So we need to fill these in. I'm probably not going to do that tonight, but you can kind of see how all of this came together. All super glued onto this thing, so these will not not come off or anything like that. Hand beveled all the way around, cleaned up. Oh, I need to clean up a little glue on the top here. I forgot to do that. But regardless, this is all looking right. All right. Yeah? So, let's pop these pieces off here. And off here. And you can kind of see the two pegs that we've got in here. Two corresponding peg holes on the piece. All good there. And you can kind of see how this all just came together. Now, the super glue, like I said before, is a perfect filler because it essentially creates a plastic bond between the plastic sheet and the plastic piece. If you think about it, cyanoacrylate, acrylate is acrylic, which is a plastic. So you're essentially creating a plastic bond, a filler plastic, if you will, between these two materials, which is just perfect, just absolutely perfect for the gap filling and everything like that. Because there was an indentation on the inside piece of the chest here, and that just filled it in perfectly on both pieces. You'll never see it, never ever see it. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. Whew, excuse me. Let's see. Julio says, I'll retain the knowledge if I write it out. Yeah, hey, whatever works, man. Just trying to make it easy on you, dude. Goro says, the visor on that thing looks like a reptile eye. Really? I don't know. Maybe. Ooh. Yeah. I don't know. I think it looks good. Let's see here. Julio Ponte says, you guys have a modeling journal? Not yet. Next year, man. Next year. William Williams, this is all good material to be added to a book. Wink, wink. I see what you did there, Will. And yeah, that probably gonna be in there. Yeah. Let's see. Julie Stemsky says, Brian, do you have a Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube? Yeah, dude, Bro Builder on Instagram. Excuse me. Definitely. YouTube, Instagram, both Bro Builder. Yes, go follow it. He's amazing. And Brian makes these kick-ass, life-size Borderland props, like, of guns and stuff like that. Oh, dude, they're amazing. They're amazing. If I had the time, I'd sink my modeling teeth into one of those things. If I had the time. I don't, so what are you going to do? Yeah. Brian says, not a true professional. I just make extra money from time to time. Motherfucker, you're a professional. You're making money. You're a professional, dude. He's so humble. Have a bit of hubris. It doesn't hurt. Just a little bit. Just a little bit is fine. Just a teeny weeny bit. This guy. I love him to death. I do. Love you, Brian. Look at that. And Fiery is just like, and followed. Nice. Biaza over there on YouTube just joined. What kit is this? This is the High Mobility Zaku 2. Yeah. And we're just looking at some of the modified parts that I got on this thing. These are chest pieces from a Goof Custom. We're just talking about different stuff right now. So, yeah. Let's see. So, George Old School Gunpla, catch Brian's live stream on YouTube with Paul. You won't regret it. I got to start watching that. I really do. I got to start watching that. Again, time, but what are you going to do? You got to find time, right? Support your friends. Julie Stemsky says, followed and subscribed. Nice. I like this. Mecha Army supports. They represent. Garrus is like, I will pre-order them books, Tim. So Sean's over there on Facebook. I want the first copy and signed. And then Gary's like, ETA? Dude, next year, sometime next year, guys. I'm not making any promises. It could be the end of next year. It could be the end of the following year. I don't know. I haven't even really thought about any sort of outline or anything. So, trust me, patience is key. But thank you for your thoughts. I really like that. Ricky Paul Carlson's over here on YouTube. Don't look at his workshop if you're OCD, though. Dude, his workshop is nuts. Love it. It's controlled chaos, right? Brian says, thanks for the shout out, George. See, I love it. I love it. Superset5, he's over there on Twitch. He says, quick question on scribing. What is the ideal size for 1/60th perfect grade scale? I'm wondering since I just bounced back to my perfect grade Mark II Gundam. So for panel lines, 0.15, 0.2 maybe. I'd go smaller. So 0.15 you can use on master grades as well. It just makes sense because it'll give that really nice illusion of scale. So same thing with the chisels. So 0.3, 0.5, 1 millimeter. Those are your safe bets. Good question. Jeremy Christopher Russell. Need. Julio Ponte. Someone starts transcribing the lives. We'll get a book. There you go. It'll be a bunch of sidebar shit though. That'll be the thing. Jeremy Christopher Russell, need to check out Narrative. I do too. I watched that 24-minute opening kind of preview, and I was like, yeah, I gotta watch this. So, all right. Anyway, let's do this, shall we? Let's go ahead and what are we gonna work on? Let's go ahead and work on the back of the arms, since I already got these kind of penciled out and everything, right, for the panel lines and all, right? So let's go ahead and start working on these now. Make sure you guys are properly zoomed in, and you are. So let's get super zoomed here real quick just to show you the side detail here, yeah? Right there, and we'll go right about there in that box, 5X. Boom, here we go. All right, so what we've got here is, this is actually the seam line, but I've made it into kind of a featured panel line, right? So I've taken the 0.15 and the 0.3 millimeter and widened a little bit of the panel line. Ooh, it'd be good if it was on camera. Widen the panel line here and here with the 0.15. Right here is doubled up. That's the 0.3 on this diagonal line here. And then obviously the two notches here and the two notches up here are both 0.3. So I think it's a very, very good aesthetic, right? So let's do the same thing to this side right here, yeah? Because that's just now, it's still just a straight up panel line, right? So first things first, we have to, or what I like to do is take off the back piece, yeah? Now, what I do is take my hobby knife or my ceramic scraper. It'd be good again if this was on camera. And it looks like I've already done this here, but I bevel the sides here, right, just like that. And you can kind of see that bevel. Real easy, right? And then pop it back on here. Now you kind of already have a nice little guide for your chisel to ride through, yeah? Right, like that. And let's get the 0.15. Let's start with this guy right here. Let's make sure I'm on camera, securely set that in place, and then right here we press these two parts together like this. Press them real hard together, and just go to work. Just get that 0.15 in there, and that will make that panel line, or that seam line, now a nice little panel line. Now you can go all the way through the piece if you want. I usually don't, just because, you know, it's more work. But so now you can kind of see a little bit better. Now that panel line is more cleaned up, more pronounced, and it's more prominent, right? So flip this thing over, do the same thing to the other side here. Let's turn that joint so it doesn't, so we don't run into the elbow here, yeah? And we're going to do the same thing if we were on camera. There we go. Just drag your chisel right across that bevel. And what that's going to do, it's going to flatten out that bevel, and like I said, make that panel line, or that seam line now a panel line, and it's just going to look a lot more pronounced and a lot cleaner. And there we go. Now you've turned a seam line into a panel line. Easy stuff, right? So, same thing now with the diagonal. But instead of 0.15, we're going to use the 0.3 just to kind of give this a little bit of visual difference, right? So if we look at this side, you can see that the diagonal right here is a little wider, right? That's the 0.3. Yep, so we're going to do that with the diagonal over here. Okay, and let's get this. That's a good position. Right there. Cool. All right, so for this, I want to get kind of close in on it. We're still on camera. Right about there. Perfect. Okay, so hopefully my big head isn't blocking the image. But for this one, you want to go a little bit slower because the line is a little bit wider, right? Again, press these two pieces together pretty securely, or they're just going to split, and you're just going to go through the seam, right? So now you can see where that has a little bit of now visual difference, right? And it just looks really, really good. Yeah. Now I'm not going to do the notches right now for time. It's what, 11:36. Let's get through. Let's get through this. I want to get this scribed in right now. So let's get some tape. Some good old Dymo tape, yeah? But first, we got to do a little bit of measuring, okay? So what we're going to do first and foremost is we're going to pop this back piece off here, right? Let's get that on camera. Now, T-square right here. All right, so we need to measure this. Stay right there. Stay. All right, we need to measure this inside gap here, right? But we can't measure from here to here because it tapers up and in, and there's a bevel right here. So what I like to do is make the measurement from the top point of the bevel here to the top point of the bevel there, right? So it is, and you can see that real nicely on the super zoom there. You can see that diagonal form right there in the corner, right? So this needs to be measured appropriately so we can cut the proper width of tape. So let's get in here and really see what we're doing. That is a solid 6 millimeters. 6 millimeters, okay? So we're going to set that off to the side. Let's grab our chopper, right? We're going to pop this guy right here, and let's get our L square, and we're going to measure out 6 millimeters, guys. 6 millimeters. That's what we need. 6 millimeters. Now, it's probably a best practice to measure just a hair under 6 millimeters because your panel lines, the outside of the panel lines need to be 6 millimeters. So you need to cut off, what, 0.3 millimeters from your overall measurement to account for that. So count that, make sure you remember that, keep that in mind, okay? So we're just going to punch that in just a little bit from 6 millimeter. Right about there, and that should be good to go and compensate for the thickness and the width of our panel lines, right? Excuse me. So I don't have any tape already cut. Oh well. All right, so my good friend Dymo tape here. We're just going to cut a little bit off of this guy. Okay. And let's see if we can't get you right there. Right there. Okay, so we've got 6 millimeter here. We're going to make sure the end of this is nice and square. Get that chopped off there. Don't forget to listen to the Chopping Mat podcast. That bootleg podcast. All right, so we've got our 6 millimeter cut. the appropriate width. This is looking good. So now we have to see if this is proper, right? Oh, look at this. Speaking of the chopping mat, Bailey, what up, dude? Scribing action, nice. Julio, congrats on the well-deserved win. Right? Hearty hearts him. Dude, you missed it before. Fucking Joel was in here, and I was giving you guys shout-outs because I listened to the two-parter today. And, dude, thank you, brother, for the shout-outs. I really appreciated that. That meant a lot. But it was so funny. Like, I kept calling it the chopping mat, and then the chat just started blowing up. It's the cutting mat. I'm like, fuck. So yeah. So the chopping mat is the bootleg podcast that me and Justin are gonna do. Just to let you know, we're gonna just take yours and just kind of remix it and make it sound really terrible, and we're gonna rebrand it the chopping mat. So yeah. Watch out for the chopping mat coming to a podcast near you. But good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Hey, and if you guys missed it, Bailey was on Mechanism on Friday. That was fun having him on too. So it's good times. All right. So let's look at this here piece, yeah? And let's see if this piece is a good measurement here. And it looks... Ooh, look at that. That will be absolutely perfect because you've got just a little bit of clearance on both sides. Just enough for that 0.15. That, my friends, is good stuff. That is good stuff. Excuse me. So now what we do, we know that this is 6, right? So the width of this larger part here, I want to be 1.5 millimeters over this. So 1.5 millimeters off to this side, 1.5 millimeters off to that side. So 6 plus 3, or 6 plus 1.5 plus 1.5 is 9 millimeters. Now, the convenient thing is that the width of Dymo tape, for those of you playing at home, is exactly 9 millimeters. Couldn't get much easier than that, right? So let's excuse me. Let's cut a little piece of Dymo tape off of here, and then we are going to chop a bevel onto it, and we'll be good to go in terms of our stencils for scribing. Yeah. So let's pop that out. Let's get this guy down like that. Don't chop your fingers off. That would be bad. Just saying. Just friendly advice from Uncle Tim, right? Now, what we want here in terms of this bevel here, we want a healthy bevel, right? So we're going to use half millimeter gap. That's going to cause a 1 millimeter bevel, right? How do I know this? Because you take the guide width and you double it. That's how I know this. It's trial and error. You guys will get it. Trust me. You use the chopper, you will get it. Right? So we've got our 0.5 millimeter gap in there. We now need the 45-degree angle guide, which I have no idea where it is. There it is. I found it. All right, so we pop the blade down, put the 45 right up against it. Now, the important thing is to get the registration on the tape properly. You pop this onto the 45, you butt the corner of the tape right up against your end, your square end right there, and pop the bevel. Right? Do the same thing on the other side. Pretty simple stuff. And now we've got a beveled piece of Dymo, yeah? So, let's see if that looks good. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. I like it. That's good. Let's get the focus a little bit. Ooh, that's too much. Right about there. So, and there's just enough clearance on both sides for the panel lines. I like it. I like it. Yes, sir. All right, so now what we do is we put our stencils off to the side. Let's look at the piece again, and let's measure how far we want to come down. So, get on camera. Right about there. Looking good. And let's see how far we want to come down. We're going to come down 5 millimeter. So that's good to know for the next one that we have to do, right? So, let's get this guy off of here. Yeah. All right, and then we place this little guy right about there. We need to center this guy up a little bit. It's a little bit wider than I'd like. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. So, back to the drawing board, yeah? So, what we do, let's go ahead and make another piece here because I was not happy with the width of that piece, okay? So, let's go ahead and get out a super zoom so you guys can see the chopper setup a little bit better, yeah? Let's go 1x. Let's get rid of the box. All right, so here we go. We've got, excuse me, we gotta basically get this out of the way to cut our tape, yeah? So, let's get our piece cut like that, perfect. And then, excuse me, I just used a 0.5 millimeter strip of plastic for the guide, the width guide here on this thing, right? So basically what I do is I put the blade down, put this piece right up against the blade, make sure it stands up, and then make sure there's nothing on the chopping mat to obstruct. And then you take your guide, you butt it right up against that plastic. Now that's, like I said, what it's going to do, it's going to leave a 0.5 millimeter gap between the blade and the stop block here, right? So remove that, put it off to the side, drop this down, 45 degree, pop it right up against the blade, yeah? Lock that into place. Did that slip? Lock that into place. Good to go. Now we take our piece of Dymo, get that butted up right up against the thing, chop the bevel. Now since this Dymo is curved this way, it's curved this way on the spool, you want to kind of bend it back a little bit, right? Just a bit, nothing crazy. Just so that this stuff flattens out, yeah? So now, we put this back on here, chop that bevel, and there you go. Looks good, right? But, that's trash again, because I just forgot that we needed to thin it out. God damn it. I'm not thinking. I am not thinking here. Son of a bitch. Anyway. Kai-san Ing, he's over there on Facebook. He says, any guide on using Tamiya epoxy putty? Quick typed him. Yes, I actually have a written tutorial on Chata Mecha, the website, www.chatamecha.com, that kind of gives you a little bit of insight on how I use epoxy putty. So definitely go check that out. Yeah. Let's see. Bailey says, next magnification, we can count each of the skin cells on Tim's finger. Right? Actually, I could go higher than the 5x. I could go 10x. We've done that once before. I think with the Mecha Decals, looking at those, right? I think we went 10x. But that's like overkill most of the time. Yeah? Most of the time. Anyway. All right. Let's do this right, shall we? I'm not even thinking at this point. It's just like pure freaking instinct at this juncture. So, let's get another piece cut. Now, this time we're going to cut a millimeter off of this thing, right? So, same type of thing, but in this case you want a millimeter thickness of plastic strip. Pop that in right next to the blade. Pop your stop block right up onto that. Lock it in. Now, you don't need any other stop block on this side, but what I do like to use is the L square here, just to pop this right up nice and flush with the stop block, just like that, and pop the chopper. Put that little 1 millimeter strip off to the side. Don't throw that puppy away. You can use that in the future. Don't waste like I am today, right? Don't waste. So there you go. All right. So now we've got our hopefully 8 millimeter 8 millimeter Dymo strip here. Yeah. And yep, perfect. Just a hair over 8 millimeters. So that should be a lot better, yeah? Let's check the width here. Yeah. That's good. That gives us nice clearance on both sides. That was my worry, the clearance on the sides for this particular piece. So 8 millimeters gives us a nice clearance on both sides. So now we set this bad boy up again for the third time for our bevels. 0.5 millimeter strip right up against the blade. Stop block over to that. Lock it in. Blade is down. 45 degree right up against the blade. Lock it in. Remove the strip. And bend your Dymo piece back in the opposite direction of the spool, just to get it nice and flat. And nice and flat, we're good. All right, pop that corner right up against there. Let's get the little debris out of there. That's good. Turn it over. Do the same thing to the other side. And now we've got a nice 8 millimeter instead of a 9 millimeter, like we had 2 times before. What are you gonna do? Julio says Timmy 2 times is his mafia name. I actually kind of like that, Timmy 2 times. Hey, I'm Timmy 2 times over here. What are you gonna do? Forget about it, right? I don't know. Fucking Sopranos over here. Bada boom, bada bing. Anyway. So now that we've got this done, let's get super zoomed in again to get some details. Let's bring our box up and boom. And there she is. Okay, so now let's check what this bad boy looks like in here. There's our piece, yeah? Let's get back to boom, boom, and boom. Here we go. So now, nice clearance on both sides of that template. I dig it. I dig it. All right, so now, for the second time, we can pop this off. For the third time, actually. Pop this off and apply it, and then we can kind of get to actual scribing here at some point tonight, yeah? So let's get, there we are. And then try to center this up as best as possible on the piece. We will measure it here momentarily for proper clearance on both sides. Ah, didn't want to stick. All right, so let me pick this up here. Do it the right way instead of trying to make it look good for camera here. Come on. There we go. Cool. Make sure this is straight. Alright, looks like it might have to come over to the right just a bit. finagle that over to the right just a little bit there. All right, so let's do some measuring and make sure that this thing is properly centered, yeah? So let's see what we've got here. We've got, that's just what, maybe a hair over 1 millimeter to the edge of that bevel, yeah? And then on this side, get my finger out of the way here. We've got a little more clearance on this side, so this actually needs to come over to the left just a bit, just a hair. Ah, you son of a bitch. That happens. That happens. I'm not gonna get mad at it. That happens. Hell, it might have been might have been for the best. We might be perfectly centered at this point. I don't know. We'll have to look, right? Alright, so we've got just a little bit there over 1 millimeter. Got about 1.5 millimeters on that side, so we do need to come over just a little bit more to the left. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Much better. Equal on both sides. Perfect. Perfect. Now, make sure we eyeball it and make sure it's nice and straight at the bottom, because that's important, yeah? So to do that, let's get a 4 millimeter piece. Nope, that's not a 4 millimeter piece. Is this a 4 millimeter piece? Yep, that looks like it. And let's see, if we turn this over and we've got equal clearance on both sides, we know it is good to go. Yep, that looks good. Sweet. All right, now we can get to scribing, you guys. All right, so let's make sure this here is on camera. Yeah, just like this. Good. All right, here we go. Oop, that's 0.3. Shit, that would have been really bad, wouldn't it? This is such an unnatural position to scribe in. I'm usually holding it kind of close, in terms, kind of closer than this. Okay, so that's our first line, and then we start to work around this thing in a counterclockwise motion. Just because I'm right-handed, that just works a little bit easier for me. So let's get the hell out of super zoom, because I know William Williams, Aziz focus, right? Aziz light. Let's go 1x. That should be good, yeah? I think so. And it's probably going to be better for me ergonomically here too, because I'm not going to be full on rheumatoid arthritis trying to hold this damn piece, yeah? So there we go. Cool. Let's go that. Now, is my big head in the way? No? Okay. Much more natural in this particular position. Not the greatest position, but better. Better. I feel a buildup of material here that we need to clean out, or that's going to ramp on us, and that's not what we want, right? Okay, good there. Again, moving in a counterclockwise rotation around the stencil. That just works best for me. Do what's best for you. Because what I find is I work from new corner to old corner. The old corner of the previous line that I've scribed acts as a stop for the chisel. It just stops dead in its tracks when I'm scribing, right? So that's what I like to do, and that'll get you normally very clean corners as well. And I know corners, that's one of the toughest things for people that are just getting into scribing. Keeping those corners clean, making sure they're not blown out. So if you do it from new corner to old corner, you have a nice stop, and it should be nice and clean, right? Should be. Should be. Okay. So now, last line for this piece, flip this around here simply because it's just a drop-off piece. It drops off the edge of the armor. Okay, so we pull the stencil, and we keep our fingers crossed. Clean this up, but it looks pretty good. Okay. Let's get super zoomed in here. Excuse me. Let's check our work. Not too shabby, guys. Not too shabby at all. So let's get this graphite off of here from the pencil. Let's sand this off. This is also going to get some plastic dust into the panel line, and it'll actually give us a little bit of better contrast and be able to see it a little bit better. So there we go. Good. Good, I say. Good, I say. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Sweet. Good stuff. Alright, so let's get caught up, shall we? Because I know a few people were asking and all that good stuff. Let's see. Handred's over there on Facebook. What's up, dude? Cool. Jeez, messages are going fast. Let's see. Bailey says all classes, regardless of the field, are structured to build concepts on top of one another. That's how we learn best. True. True that. Bielsa, yes. Dymo embossing type label tape is like a thick strip of plastic, creates a hard edge to run the chisel against. Yeah, definitely. Nice. Let's see. Brandon 5269. Yeah, I take strictly online classes, and as that's all I have time for. Most have been great, but some, like this one, are terrible. All lectures are pre-recorded by third-party company. Ew. Yeah, that does suck, Bailey. He says, I still prefer teaching classes in person to doing online, even though online is where almost everything is heading. Yeah, trust me, I know that too, yeah. Fiery says, I've been practicing scribing with my X-Acto knife. Want to carve runes into my Gunpla. Interesting. Interesting. Bailey says, back of an X-Acto knife is the thing to start with. It's a bit rougher, true, than a chisel, but it will do the job. Yeah, dude, and that's how I started too, so what are you going to do? Fire says, yeah, can't afford chisels yet. Work your way up to it, man. You know what? X-Acto knives, the back of an X-Acto, perfect thing to start out with, like Bailey said. Better than the Tamiya scriber I was using before. That's true. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, cool. So let's get out of Super Zoom. Let's pop on this one last stencil here real quick. Yeah. Right there. And let's get rid of that ugly box. There we are. Ka-ching. Okay, so now we just need to pop this one stencil on here, make 2 lines. We should be good to go. Should be good to go, right? Should be good to go. All right, let's get down to new messages. Henry says, nothing much. Just got done watching Narrative. Good stuff. Where did you watch that, dude? Is it like in theaters and stuff, or is it out someplace? Because if it's out someplace, I haven't heard about it. Give me the details, man. I need the deets. Because I wanna see it myself, dude. Wants to watch it. All right. So we got our 6mm little strip here, yeah. And we're going to get this applied very, very carefully. Ooh, and that matches up pretty nicely. That matches up pretty nicely. That's not bad. I'm not hating that. I'm not hating that at all. Let's get it centered up on the elbow gap here. And let's see. I need good. Punch this over just a bit. Cool. All right. So now 2 lines, then we're good. Yeah. Oh, Kiss Anime has it on their site. Interesting. Yeah. Gary, thank you for the hookup, dude. Appreciate that. Gary says just got done watching it too. Nice. I think it's either released or getting ready to be released on Blu-ray. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. That looks pretty damn nice. Now, for those of you getting into scribing, attention to detail is very important when it comes to scribing. Now, what most people will do is just scribe the surface and leave it at that. It's not great attention to detail, because you can wrap this around on the bottoms and the top and fulfill the look. I know, not ever going to be seen, but again, it's attention to detail. And it's a super quick operation. You wrap that around there, and if anybody ever does happen to look at it, they will see a very nicely wrapped panel line around all the surfaces of your model. And like I said, very, very quick operation. For that proper amount of attention to detail. Overkill? Sure. But who doesn't like overkill? Okay. Let's get this sanded up real quick. Henry, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. And let's get some of that plastic dust in these two little lines and let you guys see the work that we did tonight. Now, mind you, we only got this one piece done, but we were doing a ton of shit, right? We were doing a ton of shit, ton of talking and stuff like that, right? So, for a little bit of work that we got done, it's worth it. Boom. Oh, that looks nice. Let's get this straight on to the camera here. There we go. That looks clean. That looks nice and clean. I dig it. I dig it. There you go, guys. It's not hard. But it does take a little bit of technique, which you can definitely master very, very quickly. And it just takes some attention to detail. Measure twice or 3 times and cut once, right? That's what scribing is realistically all about. The actual process of scribing, like when you actually do it, it doesn't take much work. Doesn't take much work, right? Julio Ponte says, you're going to add that secondary notch you had when you penciled in. Yeah, but not now. I'm not going to add it right now. But, yeah, Julio, that is definitely what we're going to do. So, a nice, long, kind of floating notch right there to finish off the look. I think it'll look really quite nice. Yeah? So, that's what scribing is about, you guys. It's simply about measuring, measuring, measuring. Design is important. The actual process is not that difficult. Like I said, just let the chisel do the work for you and follow the stencil that you've made, and you're good to go. Yeah. Terry T, what size chisel is that? That's 0.15. 0.15. Yep. So let's real quick, let's put this back onto the arm just to see what she's gonna look like here. Ooh, that's crispy looking. Let me pop the shoulder back on for the full effect. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I dig it. I really dig it. William Wilms says, design is the hard part for me. Brother, that is the hardest part when it comes to scribing. I don't care what anyone ever tells you. That is always going to be the hardest part. It's the hardest part for everyone. Some people can easily sit there and conceptualize a panel line layout, like my boy Josh. You guys know him, Josh Dara. I don't have that ability very easily. I know mechanically what looks good and what makes sense, but in terms of getting really stupid creative, I'm not that guy. I don't think a lot of us are. But yeah, design hands down will be the absolute hardest part for anyone, Josh included. I know he will sit literally for hours coming up with different designs and stuff like that. So don't feel bad. It's the same for all of us. It really is. It's the same for all of us. So excuse me. Let's see. George, agree. William, 100%. Yep. Julio Ponte, one thing I've learned from the streams is to plan panel lines like they're made for real life. Yeah, there you go. See? Motherfucker, you're learning. That's awesome. I love that. Love that. Chart Twins, did you do anything else to the chest? I missed most of the beginning of the stream. Yeah, let's show you kind of the cleaned up chest pieces here. Let's get out of super zoom first real quick, because that's not going to be conducive to looking at bigger pieces than this, right? So let's get rid of that box. Goodbye. And see there, you can kind of see a little bit more ample view of the back of the arm, the tricep area, yeah? But yeah, I think that looks really quite nice because you got the gap, you got the elbow gap here. That is looking really quite good. And then you got that bend in there. Oh, and that shock right there. It's just, that's good engineering. That's really good engineering. I love you, Bandai. So good stuff there. But to Chartwin's question, yeah. So I finished up the plastic shaping on the plates that I put on last time, and I think they came out wonderfully. I really, really dig the shape of these things because it's nice and angular, but still has that kind of Zaku Xeon shape to them, right? I dig it. I really dig it. So we cut in some nice bevels along the inside here, along the bottom, along the side here, this bevel right here. These are straight. I think I might bevel those. I'm not 100% sure yet. I might leave them kind of a hard edge. I don't know. But I really like this look. I really, really like this look. So, yeah. Julie Stemsky, will you reuse the Dymo tape pieces on the other arm? Not these pieces, just because I basically just threw them away. But normally, you could. You absolutely could. Yeah, you absolutely could. Let's see. Rufio, Chris is over there on YouTube. He says, "Hey Tim, you coming back out for SCGMC this year? Was great to learn some things from you in person. I want to, but honestly, it's going to come down to time and money, which are both very. I don't have a lot of right now. I really want to. I really, really want to. I think it's honestly going to be a game time decision whether I come out or whether I'm able to make it out for SCGMC or not. I will be out at Saboten Con in August and September. So that might be the next best thing. That might be a haul, obviously, but yeah, I'm going to be teaching some panels and stuff there. I know I've got to do 6 different demos, panels. So there's going to be a lot of learning there that weekend. So if you can get out to Saboten in Phoenix, Arizona, I highly recommend that. So, yeah. Excuse me. Let's see. Bailey says, I can admire someone like Studio Rahito, but it's not my style. Dude, that guy is nuts. For those of you guys that don't follow Studio Rahito, Studio Rahito, Rihito, on Instagram. He does some insane scribing work. And like Bailey says, it's a bit over the top, but you've got to respect the craftsmanship. Yeah? Got to respect the craftsmanship. I love seeing his stuff. And like Bailey said, it's not my style either. But to get the clean lines, straight lines, angles, all that stuff that he does, it's just stupid good. It's really stupid good. So, one of those things, right? Ultraman Dyna, Luis says, to be honest, I think that what he does is overkill. Yeah. It's not my style either, but I respect it. Yeah. Luis says it's like he's showing off. I don't think he's showing off. I just think that's kind of his style. You know what I mean? Handren says, looking nice. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Chartwin says, that's awesome. I'm building a Zaku 1 with the Goof custom chess pieces. Yes! See? That's what I'm talking about. We're custom chess brothers. Look at that. That's awesome. I love that. That's great. George says, I disagree, Dinah. It's artistic license, but definitely not real world, which is what I prefer. Yeah, exactly. And that's just kind of his thing, right? That's his style. Because that's the thing. We've all got different styles, right? And let's go one camera because we're going to finish up here soon. We've all got different styles, right? And once you get into kind of the mode where you've got your ways, you kind of start to develop your signature style. Like, I think if you were to put a model that I do up to people that kind of know my work, they'd instantly recognize a model of mine that they've probably never seen before, just because I have kind of my own signature style, right? That's just that's just his. I respect it. I really do. I'm not saying that I do it, but I just really respect the craftsmanship. So, but you know what? Different strokes for different folks. I'm not, not telling you what to think. Just saying. Anyway, Fiery says, for me, Daimo becomes unusable after removing it. Yeah, it definitely loses a lot of its tack. Let's put it that way, right? A lot of its tack. But if you're careful, you can still recycle it once, right? So, yeah. Let's see. Julio Ponte. I'm going to be at SEGMC. Let's have that fun. Dude! Motherfucker, stop with the peer pressure. I don't know if I have the money to get out there, dude. Killing me. But hey, dude, if I could get out there, I would love to. I would absolutely love to. Bailey says, I get what Dinah is saying, though. Oh, totally. Absolutely. There are some lines that he has done where I know what it took to do, and it does come across as excessive. Yeah, but again, that's just his style. It might be excessive, right? But I think if that's what he's going for, that's the aesthetic that he wants to achieve, fuck, let him do it, right? Let him do it. Gary over there on Twitch, he says, totally agree. We all have definitely signature styles. Yeah, exactly. And Gary's scribing style is kind of, it's kind of like more artistic style, right? Have you guys seen his Hainu? Wonderfully scribed. Great job. But a more artistic flair to it, not necessarily an artistic flair, or mechanical flair, I should say. But I love it. I love the look of it. It complements the suit and the shapes of the parts perfectly. So yeah, we all have kind of our unique aesthetic. Yeah? And I think we should all embrace that, Embrace your unique aesthetic. Embrace your signature style, whatever it may be. And you know what? Some people aren't going to like it. Get used to it, boo-boo. There are a lot of people that don't like my style. A lot of people that don't like the things that I do. Like the head of the Aussie, people didn't like. I know Handren, he hates the feet on this, right? But I totally respect his opinion. Right? I totally respect his opinion. I don't necessarily agree with it, and that's okay. That's perfectly okay. But we all have our different styles and our different likes, right? Embrace your weird. Embrace your own unique stuff. Just saying. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Shit. Beck Storm, he's over there. Morning, Tim. Just about caught the stream. Yeah, dude. Hey, how you doing, man? Beck, you're over there. Where? You're over there in the UK, right? I think so, if I remember correctly. What? It's 5:30 or 6:30. I don't know. Are you guys 5 or 6 hours ahead of us? I don't know. I can't keep track, especially with daylight savings time. It's just fuck all, right? But I know it's early there for you, so thanks for tuning in, buddy. I appreciate it. Even though we're about to close down for the night at 5:30. I knew it was early. Even though we're about to close down, but hey, just for showing up, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Ron Art says, same here. Once I removed it from the first scribe, it seems to lose the stickiness to it. It does. The tape does. It absolutely does. You might be able to get one more out of it. Might be, right? Especially if the part is clean of any dust and stuff like that. If it's a super clean part, you might be able to get another quality use out of it. Just keep that in mind. Julio says, all my scribe lines are just going to go up and down. Nice. Julio says, I'm a pinstripe all my suits. That would kind of be cool, though, to be honest with you. I think that would be cool, right? George says, pinstripe zoot suit Julio. Oh, come on. I like it, right? Julio says, go fund me for Tim's ticket. Man, don't do that. I would be extremely flattered, but seriously, don't do that. Don't do that. That is so unneeded. Rufio Chris, let's get him out here. Oh, shit. You motherfuckers, don't do that. Seriously, don't. I have a hard time with that. Just, yeah. Let me pay my own way, all right? George says, Gary's High New is an excellent example of a quality scribe. That's his take on what he sees in the build. Yeah, exactly. The artistic side of things, right? And I dig it. Andrew, he liked the fact that I acknowledged him not liking the feet. He says, haha, indeed. Dude, and that's the thing. We don't have to like everything. We don't have to. I know people don't like some of my design aesthetics. And that's cool. It's not their kid, though. Now, mind you, I will take excellent feedback. Like William said, William Williams over there on YouTube, he says, I missed the bike helmet. It had flare. Christ. How many pieces of flare did it have? Right? Office Space. Looking back at that was such a huge mistake. I don't even know what I was thinking, man. I don't even know if I have it anymore. I'd pull it out and show you guys, but I don't even know if I have it. I think I might have tossed it. Yeah, I don't see it on the desk, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, the bike helmet was a bad mistake. The picket fences on the fucking shields, those were bad mistakes. The feet, I don't think they're a bad mistake. Yet. Right? Yet. I don't think they're a bad mistake yet. I need to footnote that, just in case I change my mind. So. Julio Ponte, Gary's killing it. I agree. Julio says, bike helmet and picket fence, I'm telling you, it's a paperboy for the NES. Yeah, dude, right? Jesus. Bailey says, speaking of killing it, Donnie just put his Primer Nemo together. Hot fire. Dude, yeah, we were talking about it before you came on, dude. Yeah, give a shout out. Give a shout out to our boy Donnie, man. He is the Nemo is nice. The Nemo is looking nice. The scribing is really good. That's it. Yeah, I really like it. Alex the Doof, what's up, Alex? Alex moderated Gunpla Talk chat, you guys. I don't know if you noticed Alex in the chat, but he had his work cut out for him this past episode on Saturday. So, Alex, thank you, brother, for your hard work there. I know it was like fucking whack-a-mole on people. So, it's appreciated, brother. William Williams, he would need to replace the mohawk with a rolled-up newspaper, right? Bailey says, Paperboy for Atari Lynx. Nice. Fiery says, ooh, I love me some fire. Who's Donnie? Donnie, let's bring up his IG, right? Let's bring up his IG real quick. Let's see what we got here. Donnie is Art Inc. by DB. Art Inc. by DB. That's who we talking about, right? So let's do a 2-camera. Let's real quick give a shout out to Donnie. Let's show you guys what we talking about here. So there's the account. Mr. Donnie Baxter. Donnie, if you're still watching, I don't know if you are, but shout out, buddy. Art Inc. by DB. Right up here, Art Inc. by DB. Right? So, what we were talking about before is Donnie's awesome Nemo. Yeah? Let's get through. Let's go. Oh. Did we miss it? Oh. There's just the primered pieces. Or did he post it? Oh, no, he posted it. Here we go. Look at that. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's so good, yeah. And you gotta, the thing about Donnie's account is you gotta follow his account. You gotta look at his Instagram stories because that's where he posts most of this stuff is his Instagram stories, right? So they disappear after 24 hours. You miss it, that's it. You missed it. So watch his stories. That's where it's at, right? Keep that in mind. So good shit, DB. Good shit, buddy. George says Donnie's Nemo rules, but then it's Donnie doing what he does best. That's a good point, yeah. That's a really good point. Excuse me. Julio Ponce says Donnie is straight killing it, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Gary says, I love the bike helmet. Fight me. You guys. Bailey says, and what an awesome dude he is. He really is. Like, he came out to the class that we did in Laurel at Hobby Works, me and Justin, and I'm going to tell you what, man, it was such a good time talking to him and meeting him and everything. Great guy. Julie Stemsky says, you should have autographed the bike helmet and auctioned it off, just saying. Oh my shit and God, no, man, no. Nobody wants that. Chris R. Love what it progressed to, though. Zaku looks beast. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Alex the Doof, Troll Central. Dude, it was, right? It really was. It was a whole different crowd in there this time around, right? On Gunpla Talk. So, Ghost of Xeon. Dude, Scotty, what's going on, brother? He says, hey, Tim, I'm just in time to see the end of the stream. Right? Good morning, man. Well, no, it's not good morning. It's like... What? It's like afternoon-ish? Probably like mid-afternoon, right? 2, 3 o'clock out there? Probably. I don't know. I'm guessing anyway. Brother, what's going on, dude? Ghost of Xeon. Scotty, owner of SMS Paints that you can get at USA Gundam Store if you are interested. They've got some stupid cool color shifting paints, you guys. $230, Scotty. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, our boys, USA Gundam Store. Yeah, you can get SMS here in the States now. Totally worth it. Good shit, you guys. Good shit. Excuse me. Julio Ponte says, people with nothing else to do but hate. Oh yeah, the trolls. They were just fucking off. It wasn't really hate. It was just some of Fox's folks that came in and just, were being rowdy. That's his crowd, right? Wasn't a big deal. Wasn't a big deal. Backstorm, haha, yeah, all of Fox's viewers causing mischief. Yeah. And it wasn't like malicious. It was just trolly, right? It was just kind of annoying more than anything. So it wasn't a big deal. Ultraman Don, have a good night, everyone. I gotta get some sleep, dude. Luis, take care, buddy. Take care. Julio Ponte, like fire fiery. I missed it. Fiery. Tim showed me Freddy Was Wrong's Volcano Bear, and that was amazing. Yeah, Freddy's good, man. Freddy's good. Char Twins. I just started an IG Char Wins 1. Haven't put anything up yet on Mobile Suits, but I build some badass model cars and stuff. Word. Might have to check that out. Julio Ponte says, yeah, I was going to say look for some car models with fire themes. Yeah. Fiery, nah, more like lava, glowing flames, stuff like that. Yeah, so basically like what Fiery's trying to go for is like a volcanic crackling earth kind of aesthetic, I think. So I forwarded him to Freddy. Freddy Was Wrong. Everybody knows Freddy. Everybody loves Freddy. His volcanic bear guy was a really good example of that. So if you guys haven't seen that, check out Freddy Was Wrong on Instagram, and you'll see what I mean. You might have to scroll down a little bit because he posted it a while ago. So FYI. Yeah. So there you go. Julio Ponte says some fluorescent paint and some phosphorus powder should get you a good fire glow. Shit, dude, you're trying to burn his house down. Phosphorus powder. Get out of here, man. Jesus. Whew. Telling you, that would end bad. Oh, man, oh man. But anyway, you guys, on that note, let's wrap this one up before we before we get into legal trouble over here. Jesus. Julio's up here trying to get me arrested on my stream here, man. Come on, bro. Jeez. All right, hey, you guys. Represent Mecha Army. If you guys want one of these cool ass t-shirts, man, hit up www.shadowmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You'll see hats and shirts and bags. This awesome shirt, and soon, hopefully, if the prototype comes out really nicely, a hat. Yes. Mecha Army. On the right side, represent. Strong design. Strong design, I think. Yes. Strong design. Yes. But hopefully I'll get that soonish. I don't know when, but soonish. So I just placed the order a couple nights ago. So it's not even in full production as of yet. So it might be the end of the week, it might be next week until I get it. So FYI. Just keep that in mind. So anyway, if you want one of these cool ass shirts, man, go hit up shadowmecha.com. You will not be disappointed. So as well, if you are interested in any of the tools and materials and stuff like that that we've worked with tonight, one of these big old Bob Smith Industries CA glues, man, hit up the Amazon link just below here on YouTube and on Twitch. That side if you're watching on Facebook. We got a bunch of tools and stuff like that already sourced out for you. Some you may not even know that you needed. Yeah, think about that, right? But I do get a small commission off of the things that you buy. It goes to help the stream. Microphone right here that's off camera, but you're hearing the quality is a very, very good point. Very good example of that, right? So, buy a bunch of shit. Thank you. It helps the stream. And as always, you guys, if you are interested in kits or paints like SMS, our boy Scotty, or tools and other stuff like that, or decals, don't forget the decals. He's right back here. The Mecha Decal 001W. Check out my boys right over here, right about there. USA Gundam Store. They will hook you up. They will hook you up. Yeah. And real quick, Hendren says, Tim, would this build make it to the online deadline at November? I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know. If you were to ask me right now, I doubt it. Just being honest. Because there's a shit ton more that I want to do to this. And then I've got a whole nother model to work on and then a whole base to work on. So I doubt it. As of right this second. But I still got a pretty cool kick-ass backup plan, right? With airdrop. So there's that. So we'll get something entered online, right? We'll get something entered. So anyway. You guys, there we go. Monday stream. Done and dusted, as they say. So, with that being said, man, have a great Tuesday, you guys. And I will see you guys on Wednesday, man. Build something cool. Be safe out there. Don't use phosphorus powder. Don't buy that shit. That's not good. That's not good. It's against the law, I think, actually. And that will burn you fucking just to a crisp. Don't listen to Julio. He's a bad influence, you guys. All right, see ya.